Imagine a city where the very idea of safety feels like a relic of the past, where mothers clutch their children tighter and fathers walk home with uneasy glances. Now picture a single moment, broadcast live to millions, that shatters this fragile illusion to its core. The lights rise on Manhattan's Grand Debate Hall. Cameras pan across the anxious crowd. A hush falls as New York's freshly minted Democratic primary victor, Representative Zoren Mandonni, strides to center stage. His jaw is set, his eyes ablaze with conviction. Opposite him, Vice President J.D. Vance enters quietly. No bombast, no flourish, just a measured nod to the moderator and a glance towards the millions watching at home. The moderator's voice cracks through the speakers. "Gentlemen, you have 2 minutes for opening statements." But before he can finish, Mandoni lunges forward, voice dripping with defiance. "J.D. Vance," he spits, "you're nothing but Trump's obedient lapdog. I'm here to expose your dangerous lies to every New Yorker." A collective gasp ripples through the audience. Vance remains still, as though observing a storm from inside a fortress. His silence deliberate, calm before the tempest. The moderator attempts to rein him in, but Mandoni waves him off, rattling off his radical agenda. Abolish the NYPD, tear down the prison industrial complex and all ICE operations, enact sweeping gun control, abolish cash bail, legalize sex work, open safe drug consumption sites. The list continues like a dream, or for some, a nightmare. Finally, Vance interrupts, his voice calm, steady. "Representative Mandoni, I came here to debate real ideas, not far-fetched fantasies that ignore the suffering of everyday New Yorkers." He reaches into his jacket and unfurls a document for the cameras. It's a leaked internal memo from Mandoni's own campaign, outlining plans to cut all cooperation with federal immigration enforcement and drop sentences for violent repeat offenders. Shock flashes across Mandoni's face. The audience sits stunned. Vance's words cut through the tension. "Tell me, Zoren, how does a working mother feel safe walking her child home if dangerous drugs flood our sidewalks? You champion freedom, but at what cost?" Mandoni opens his mouth, then hesitates. Phones light up as viewers share the moment online. Vance leans back, letting his words hang in the air. "You're not running to be mayor of New York. You're auditioning to be the mayor of mayhem." The phrase strikes like thunder. Some stand and applaud, others sit frozen. Mandoni's confidence fractures. The moderator, visibly shaken, tries to steer the debate, but the dynamic has shifted. Mandoni huffs, "You're mischaracterizing my positions. I stand for justice and freedom for all." But suddenly a man in the back row rises. His voice trembles with grief. "My daughter overdosed because of your safe injection proposal. She was 19. His anguish settles over the room like smoke. Cameras catch every quiver. Mandoni falters, unable to meet the man's eyes. Vance rises, his voice sincere, not rehearsed. "Sir, I am so sorry for your loss. No parent should endure that heartbreak from misguided policies that enable addiction rather than help recovery." The debate transcends politics. It becomes about real people, their pain, their fears. Vance presses on. "New York deserves leadership grounded in reality, not ideological experiments. I believe in reform, accountability, and community-based solutions, not abandoning our responsibility to protect." Another folder appears from his briefcase. "Representative Mandoni, your campaign accepted over $100,000 from foreign PACs tied to questionable entities. Why should New Yorkers trust a candidate whose fundraising resembles a criminal probe?" Mandoni's face drains of color. He sputters about transparency and systemic change, but his words ring hollow. The audience remains silent. Vance turns to the camera. "We can't ignore the lessons of 2020. The surge in violent crime after similar policies were tried. The shattered windows, the blood on our sidewalks. Our city suffered. We will not repeat those mistakes." Heads nod across the hall. Memories of chaos flash through every mind. A dignified woman in the second row rises, clutching a faded photograph. Her voice cracks as she recounts her son's murder on the subway 2 weeks ago. "He was just 10, she whispers, tears falling. "Your agenda would have made that tragedy inevitable." Mandoni's talking points evaporate. He stammers. The room falls into sacred silence. Vance kneels beside the grieving mother. "I am so sorry for your loss," he whispers. "Your son deserves safety, not abstractions." The audience, the cameras, the nation bears witness to a moment that defines the conversation about governance and human dignity. The moderator turns. "Representative Mandonni, your rebuttal." Mandonni rises, voice trembling. I believe in justice through systemic transformation. We need compassion, not cages." But his words falter as his eyes meet the grieving mother's. The crowd remains still, their skepticism palpable. Vance stands. "Tonight we saw the contrast between theory and practice, slogans and substance. New Yorkers deserve leaders who balance compassion with responsibility, vision with accountability. I'm J.D. Vance, and I pledge to protect our families, support our communities, and rebuild trust in our institutions." He steps back. The lights dim, but the energy crackles as cameras cut to commercial. This wasn't just a debate. It was an unfiltered confrontation between ideology and reality, emotion and evidence, radical promise and cautious stewardship. Pundits will debate who won, but those who witnessed it know. Leadership isn't grandstanding, it's listening, it's caring, it's delivering results without compromising on safety or justice. And that is the promise every public servant must make to New York and to the country. If you found this story important, don't forget to subscribe to Hill Stories like this video and hit the bell so you never miss the real stories behind American politics.